Hello everyone, CamBearRun here, and welcome to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Not a lot to say about this, it's mono red aggro. I figured I might as well get one mono red deck in before we go over to Kaldheim. So, we've got all the traditional items that you would normally find in a mono red deck. We've got 4 copies of Vacuum Hellhound, Fervent Champion, your Embercleave Knight, your Robber of the Rich, a Scorching Dragonfire for removal, a Bolt Hound, because I thought I'd have a little bit of fun with it, because obviously Bolt Hound is a good card. It has haste, and it gives all the creatures +1/+0 when it attacks. 4 copies of Phoenix of Ash, 3 copies of Anax Hardened Forge, 4 copies of Bonecrusher Giant, 3 copies of Embercleave, and 2 Torbran Thane of Redfell. Fortunately, I only have 2 copies of Thane of Torbran, so I can only put in the 2. I'm going to try and get more copies before Kaldheim releases, because Boros Dwarfs will be a good thing. So it's pretty much, it's mono red, there's not a lot to it. You've got 2 Castle Ambreth as well and 20 Mountain. I've only got 2 copies of Castle Ambreth as well. But yeah, we put creatures on the field, we overwhelm our opponent, and we go absolutely ham. So I'm going to go straight into the rank queue, we're going to see how we could do, and hopefully we can just completely outpressure our opponents to the point where they scoop out of sheer frustration. Or die. Whichever one comes first. Anyway, let's get into the games. I'm not sure whether that hand is too slow or not. I'm on the play, but no, I don't think that's too slow, actually. Because I've got removal to deal with my opponent's threats, if there are any, so... I've got Torbran in hand, which is really important. So we'll run with this hand and see how it goes. Take the 1 damage off this fucking thing. I am the pocked. So just a little bit of clap. Bitch. Oh, come on. This is a mirror match, mono red. Just for clarification, this game is not... There are a couple of games in this where I can talk about... where I seem to have a higher rank than I actually do, depending on how these videos go. These first 3 go. Because the first 3 videos I recorded, unfortunately the sound didn't kick in. So I figured it would be better if I just re-recorded the whole thing. Rather than try and deal with videos with no sound again. So... I took that decision consciously rather than... Do I want to block here? No, I can take 3 here. There we go, he takes 3. The next turn I can play Torbran. Or Embercleave. I suppose this is basically whoever draws their Embercleave first. I've already got mine, but he was on the... Okay, so we've got Phoenix of Ash there. How much damage is this? 8. It was always going to be a pure DPS race. And, wait, DPS, what kind of fucking up... Now that's a Magic RPG now, what do you think to that? But yeah, it was always going to be a straight damage race, so you got it out first and I was able to win. I think just simply because I went first. But yeah, the rank will change, I think, back to a certain point, because first 3 games I did, I didn't have any audio, so this is effectively a re-record of these first 3 games. So we'll go on to the next, effectively what's going to be game 2. Alright. I'm not taking a chance on the slow hand on the draw, so we're going to mulligan here. That's better on move or Rimrock Knight. Do I riskily move the... Do I move the Embercleave? No, let's move the Knight. Okay. There we go. Yep, he knows. Hate it when they're smart. I'll just get in for the 5 then. Take the 5 here, play Robber the Rich, and then just roll with it. Get a land off the top, that'd be neat. Could always use another one of those. As I block, I can probably block with this Hellhound. Oof. Oof. Owie. Right. There we go. I forgot you can totally do that. Yep, and then they scoop. Because I made the smart decision to look out the Inspiring Veteran first. Wiped out their board. So, there you go. So we're just going to go on to the last game. I can live with that. Good curve, actually. Alright, so we're just waiting for my opponent to make a turn. We'll go Hellhound into probably depending on how they play Robber the Rich or Bonecrusher Giant. Because I've got all that matters is that I build up to Torbran. So, or Embercleave, whichever one comes first. Need to get that off the board. There we go, get the 2 in there. I think if I play Bonecrusher Giant next turn and then drop a fat Torbran on them. He's quite chunky actually as well. Put on the bath from the shop. See, he doesn't come in tapped, which is the crazy thing. Yeah, play Bonecrusher Giant. Are you smart enough to know that I have the Embercleave? That I'm going to use it to run your ass over? Okay.
I like animals better than people.
Okay. Wouldn't it be better to play that first?
My pack's always growing.
we got the extra card draw, but whatever, I'm not going to judge. Right, that should be too much for him to deal with. Oh, I took his Gargaroth as well. I think that is too much for him to block, so I think I've won. But we'll see how he wants to play it. Yeah, he wants to scoop. So yeah, that's the end of the games that have been re-recorded. So what you'll see next time is I'm about back to, I think, one stage of Platinum Tier 3. Because it was... when was it? Yes, it's about back to about the one stage. So the far left, only the far left is bright. So these games have been good, actually. But this is the aftermath after what is effectively the 6th game, the final game. So you get the other 3 games which have got normal sound, and then we'll go straight to the outro. So what you'll see next will be technically the 4th game, but it'll be from the first recording session. Yada, yada, yada. I've explained in the first part. That hand is fine. We'll keep this one. We go first. We got a Castle Ambreth in it. We got a good curve. So, do need to draw a couple of lands in a row, though. Ah, another Huntsman would be fine. Another Robert the Rich would be fine after this one, then. Because I just took his Garrick. Is this really all this dude's good? If this dude just plays a ton of Death Touch creatures, I'm going to be mightily annoyed. And then we can play Torbran next turn, so... Or do we want to play... Oh, God, do I play Bolt Hound or Torbran? Go maximum. If he plays Border Wipe here, I get a ton of Satyrs. That does change my plans somewhat. Play the Bolt Hounds. Get the bonus damage. Yeah, I think we've won here. Yep. They didn't want to sacrifice the land while Visionary was the problem and stop some damage. I think they died on that hill. So, we'll just go straight on to the next game. That's fine. We'll keep that hand. Go straight in with the Rimrock Knight. Phoenix of Ash and hopefully a Torbran if I can get a 4th land. They're probably throwing out a creature that I don't mind losing, but yeah. There goes that. That's our land, so that's good. Oh. You know, the weird thing is I played Banishing Light and it was probably a really bad idea. Okay. Actually, yeah. I mean, if they're not going to block... They knew what was coming, but they could have at least given themselves another chance if they'd have blocked the Fervent Champion, but I'm not going to judge. I can squeeze in one more game, actually. So we'll play one more and then call it that. Perfectly fine with keeping this hand. Still a bit land heavy, but I got Fervent Champion into Robber, into Bolt Hound. We'll see how they play out. Could be risky if they have a lot of removal, but... Huh. I see you are a man of culture as well. Well, I can probably kiss goodbye to my board. Yeah, and then 2 damage there. Rip. I mean, that's... Christ. Fellow mono red player. But the only problem is I'm drawing a lot of land at the moment. Yeah, this ain't good. Did actually consider Careless Celebrant as a card, but just didn't kind of think it was worth the time. I think I might be screwed here because I've drawn literally nothing but land. Yeah. Ouch. That was another card I considered, but I'd consider a bit too high cost, so... So I can at least kill Torbran here. But then he can bring back Phoenix of Ash next turn, which is a bit of a concern. To be honest, he doesn't really need to block. I think he's won anyway. I can get him down to 8, but that's about it. You can take the damage and kill him with Terror of the Peaks, so... Yeah. That's a shame. I think we just flooded out too much. I think we didn't get a decent enough curve. I took a risk staying with about 4 mana, but I think that was a bad idea. I took a chance, and it didn't work because they basically just... They were playing the same deck as I did, but they actually had cards in hand. And I think the Careless Celebrant was a good move at the end. So, anyway, this is a bit of a shame, but we'll end it there. So, yeah, it's been a very successful deck for Mono Red. It is pretty strong. I think the only difference I'd make is probably switch out Aggro Hellhound for a different creature, or a little bit more removal. But otherwise, it's still as strong as it ever was. Kaltom, I think, does have cards that will make it stronger, especially the God of Storytelling. I think it's called Birgi. One moment, I posted it somewhere. I'm just going to obnoxiously look up the name halfway through recording an outro. Yeah, Birgi, God of Storytelling, which is probably going to make Mono Red even stronger once you can fit it in. Obviously, Torbran will be helpful in a Boros Dwarves deck. And then Bone Crusher Giant will be strong in itself, both by itself and in a Giant's tribal deck. So, yeah, I think it's strong. I think the last game you just saw, I think we flooded out against a mirror match. But I think overall we did very, very well. It played 6-1-5. Even if it was split into two halves effectively, because I had to re-record some of the first three games because of lack of sound. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like. If you want to see more, you can always subscribe. I'll be streaming tomorrow night, live on Twitch, and I do intend to keep to that one. So look out for that, but it will be instead of putting up a video on YouTube, so that'll be my one kind of break day. So, thank you for watching. Camber out.